Welcome to the Don't You Worry podcast. We're your hosts, Briley and Britton Caldwell, and we're here to say don't you worry through stories, encouragement, and joy. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's conversation. Hey guys, welcome back to the Don't You Worry podcast. We're your hosts, Briley and Britton, and we are so thrilled because it is officially December. Yay! We are so excited. Literally, Christmas is our favorite time of the year, if you couldn't tell already. But we've been talking a lot about Christmas lately, and Christmas is by far the most joyful time of the year, and we wanted to talk a little bit about that today. Yes. So, yeah, don't you agree?
I do. It's just like in the song, you know?
Mm-hmm. Joy to the world?
No. Like 9 ladies dancing? Okay, let me just start this over. Okay, so in the 12 days of Christmas,
I'm so confused dancing, where you're going right now.
I stole some of Dad's notes. I went snooping
my
today.
Gosh.
So I stole some of them, and I know you were kind of planning on going one way. Well, I don't care because this is good. So we're going to kind of talk about what the 12 days of Christmas mean because, you know, we do all these like traditions, sing all the songs, but we don't really know like where it came from. So you know, Dad spoke on the 12 days of Christmas multiple times. Right. You remember those, right? Yeah, so what's the 12th day of Christmas mean? Do you remember what it is, the 12 drummers drumming? So what's it mean?
I don't remember.
Take a guess.
I don't know.
Okay, so it's about like the 12
I feel very unprepared to this right now.
The 12 points of doctrine in the Apostles' Creed. So it's basically their core.
I would not have guessed that.
Their 12 like core beliefs because they couldn't really like talk about their faith much. So they put it in a song form. So you love this. So basically, whenever like your 12 core beliefs, it's like, you know, it's how like what you do in your daily walk. Mm-hmm. So drums are the marching of your daily walk. That's like kind of the singer's takeaway from this.
Oh.
So do you know what the 11th is?
I don't.
Are you sure?
I know what a couple of these are, but I don't remember the 11th.
Okay. The 11th, the 11 pipers piping is the 11 faithful disciples. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they give us freedom to leap, or not freedom to leap. I'm looking too far into the notes. They are, the 11 faithful disciples, they were surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. That's kind of like the singer's takeaway from that.
Okay.
So do you know what the 10th is?
The 10th is I don't. I actually, if you had given me like a couple minutes.
This one's easy.
The 10 Commandments.
Yes, it's the 10 Commandments. So most people, whenever they think about the 10 Commandments, this is where I was getting ahead of myself. Mm-hmm. When people think about the commandments, they think, okay, this is kind of like holding me back. You know, it's like all these rules that I have to follow. But really, it's like they give us the opportunities for everything, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's when they give us the freedom to leap, guys. Okay. But, okay, what are the 9?
9 is the 9. I actually don't know. There's not like a 9
ladies dancing. There is a 9.
No. I meant there's not like a 9. Like there's not something in the Bible that I can think of that's like 9 things.
The fruit of the Spirit.
Oh,
yeah. So
love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. I can name them. I just didn't know that's what it was.
Where the ladies dancing, the freedom and the joy ties in.
Oh.
Yeah, see what I did there? I'm so smart. Yeah. So it's basically dancing. Like I know a way that I show joy is through dance. And in this, dancing showed the joy of like serving Jesus. And that's kind of like what the singers that like wrote this song, that's kind of what they took for themselves to think about like this as, you know, the ladies dancing shows joy. Okay. What's the 8th?
The 8th is the
8 maids of milking. So they're the Beatitudes. They stand for those.
Okay.
And basically the main core point of the Beatitudes, if you don't really know what they are, it's that like Jesus won't overlook you. Like he hears and he just like he saves and, you know, he knows what you're going through. And that's just basically what the Beatitudes kind of explain.
It's like a personal level of a relationship with God.
Exactly. So the 7 swans of swimming are the gifts of the Holy Spirit.
Oh.
So whenever you walk with God, the gifts of the Spirit moved in your life as easily as a swan on water. So you know how like a swan swims?
Mhm.
It's like very graceful. You can't even see their paddling.
Mhm.
I wish I could be a swan. Anyway, so that's like kind of, I don't know. That's just how like easily it flows.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Okay. 6 geese a laying. Have any guesses?
Any guesses for 6 geese a laying? Like the 6 days of creation?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Wait, oh my gosh.
It's the creation account.
I actually feel
Yes,
so proud
ma'am.
right now. I thought that was going to be wrong.
No. So it says in Dad's notes, it says that the singer's takeaway is that God moved over the void to create life as a goose would lay over an empty nest. So basically, like you said, the 6 days of creation, that's like the main point of that one. And then 5 gold rings.
That's the Torah, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I
You
remember
actually
this.
listen.
This was a
Okay.
couple years ago, wasn't it?
What's the Torah?
The Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament.
You right. Yep. Okay, now next page.
This is like a game
4.
show right now.
Yes, it is. Okay, 4 calling birds. What's that one?
4 calling birds are
You know
the
The
Oh my
4
gosh.
It's the 4 gospel accounts.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Matthew,
So,
Mark, Luke,
The
and John.
accounts we have of Jesus's life, like they're ones to share. That's
Mhm.
why we share the gospel accounts. So, like, calling birds. Get it?
to share
To share the gospel account.
Okay, that
So
makes
great.
sense.
These people were geniuses. Okay, do you know what the 3 French hens represent?
Faith, hope, and love.
You right.
I do
Okay.
remember that.
It says that the singer's takeaway is what the church should exercise the most. Okay,
Mhm.
I can tell these are sermon notes. That doesn't sound like how I would word it,
Uh-huh.
because this isn't a sermon. This is a podcast.
Right.
Anyway, okay, the 2 turtle
We
doves.
could turn it into a sermon.
Oh gosh, I would fail so bad. Okay, 2
Turtle doves are the Old Testament and New Testament.
Yes, ma'am. There is no other guide to life than the Bible. That's what the
Yes.
singer's takeaway is.
Yes.
And the reason that it ends,
I remember the ending. I do remember
it
the
actually
ending.
doesn't end like that. Well, yeah, it does.
It keeps going back to it because every
Exactly.
time you repeat the song, you always go back down like the
To the
numbers, right?
partridge
To the partridge and the pear tree.
tree.
You say that every time. And that is Jesus dying on the cross, right?
It's actually, it's just really Jesus.
Okay.
Because, so the mother partridge
Mm-hmm.
is the only bird that will die to protect its young.
Hold on, say that again.
The mother partridge, so the partridge,
Uh-huh.
and like the pear tree it's a tree that like the partridge will normally like nest in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the partridge is the only bird that will die to protect its children.
Wow. Okay, wait. So
Let that
I don't know if
sink
you
in for a
said this to
minute.
begin with, but why is there a code for all of this?
So basically, the people that actually wrote this a long time ago,
Mhm.
they couldn't exercise their faith verbally, just
Mhm.
like
out in public.
yeah, they couldn't
Mhm.
just be like, oh my gosh, Jesus is like the root of our life.
Yeah.
They couldn't just say that. So they had to put it into a song. And the reason that there's like a singer's takeaway for each of these is because like this is the actual meaning, and this is why they made it a partridge in a pear tree, or they made it like the 4 calling birds, or
Mhm.
the 9 ladies dancing,
The message
So-
behind their code.
Exactly. So I think this is just so cool because the true love in the song is God.
Yeah.
And on the first day of Christmas, our true love, God, gave us a partridge in a pear tree, which is the best gift that we could get because it
Mhm.
was his son, like, to die for us.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool how all of this connects. And like, that is our anchor. Like, God is our anchor. That's
Mhm.
why it repeats so much. And it's like, Jesus is the root of everything. That's
Mhm.
why everything else happens. So it's like, that's kind of why it just keeps going back to a
Mhm.
partridge in a pear tree. And my true love gave to me.
That's so true. Especially like Christmas is the one holiday that if it were not for Christmas, if it were not for the one gift of Jesus, literally we wouldn't be here right now. We would have no hope
I
for our
know.
future. And that's
Insane.
It's so cool that the song keeps going back to that
I know.
and shows that like Jesus is literally the reason for all of it.
Exactly. Did I stress you out today?
A little bit. I thought you were going a completely different way with this. I thought you had some like, I mean, I knew you had insight on a song that you were going to tell me about, but I thought it was Joy to the World. So I was like, oh, maybe she's going to talk about each verse of Joy. That is not what I was expecting at all. When you started saying that, I was like, oh, we're taking this any way we want to go.
I know. It's just so good.
Okay, so let's go back through like the whole song because I want to hear like each little bit of it.
We're going to sing?
We're not going to sing. I want
on the first day of Christmas.
No. We're going to cut that out. Stop.
We're not cutting that out.
We're cutting that out.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. I'm going to talk to Dad and make him cut that out.
No.
Okay. I'll say like what the thing is in the song and then you tell me the meaning. So
I got you.
First day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree.
God gave us the gift of Jesus to remind us that Jesus would die for us.
Yes. And then second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves.
Yep. And God gave us the Old and New Testament, the main books of the Bible that we need every day.
Yep. We need both parts.
Yes.
And then third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 French hens,
which are faith, hope, and love. And those are like the main things.
The key aspects of like Christianity.
Yes.
On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 calling birds.
Yes. God gave us the 4 gospel accounts, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, all about Jesus' life.
Yes. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 golden rings.
God gave us the Torah, which are the 5 books of the first 5 books of the Old Testament.
On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 6 geese a-laying,
which is the creation account. That's what God gave us.
The first 6 days of creation when he created the world.
Yeah.
On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 swans a swimming.
Swans a swimming.
You're like giving me hints. Okay.
Yeah. So God gave us the gifts of the Holy Spirit.
And then on the 8th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 maids of milking.
The Beatitudes.
On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 ladies dancing.
Yes. God gave us the fruit of the Spirit, which are
love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, which we should portray each of those things in our everyday life. Oh, sorry. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 10
Lords of Leaping.
10 Lords of Leaping.
The 10 Commandments.
Yes. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 11 pipers piping.
Yes, which were the 11 faithful disciples that followed Jesus. That's what God gave us.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 drummers drumming.
Yes, and those are the 12 main like beliefs of the Apostles' Creed whenever like they wrote this. They were their core beliefs whenever they couldn't really share that with the world.
Yeah, I just think that's amazing the way that it keeps going back. And as a reminder, it literally goes back to Jesus, the partridge in a pear tree, every time you sing it through. Obviously, we don't have time to sing every single part of that. But like every time you go up, you go right back down to the core reason of it all.
And even though it might be annoying to some people, it's now every time that I hear it or sing it, it's like it's such a great reminder that Christmas is like a joyful time and how God has given us so many things, and he's given us Jesus, like you said, like at the core root of it all. So I just think it's so great, and that's what I'm thinking of every time I sing it now.
I know, it puts it into such a perspective that like, wow, God gave us literally everything.
I know.
So the joy behind Christmas always goes back to him. And there's so much in every aspect of Christmas that always points back to Jesus. You may have to dig a little to find it, but even in literally that's probably the craziest Christmas song ever.
Yeah.
Like it sounds so crazy, but then when you truly find the meaning behind it, it's like, wow, that points to Jesus too.
And this Christmas season, we hope you can find Jesus in absolutely everything you do because he's there. Just look for him.
Yes. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you back next week.